Hi, this is Carol Jack, vocal coach, and I'd like to address an issue that's come up with singers, and that is that they don't want to have voice training, or they've started voice training and stopped because they didn't want to sound too trained. I totally understand this point of view, and I personally believe that all the technique in the world will be no good if you can't be yourself when you're singing. So, obviously, as a singing teacher, I feel that it is important to have some idea of what's happening with your voice when you're singing, just the same as you would with any instrument that you play. You'd want to have some idea of how it makes the music and how you can get the best out of it. So your voice is your instrument. And so I believe that it is important to have some knowledge about what's going on with your voice, so you can get the best out of that instrument. From that point of view, I can say that the sound is actually produced in the vocal cords, which are in your throat. And there's a lot of other things that go on before and after that sound is produced, which will affect the sound that you make. So before the sound is produced in the throat, in the vocal cords, the air that you are pushing out when you sing or you talk will actually be pushed towards your vocal cords, and your vocal cords will start vibrating. And this is what produces the sound. Now, if you have too much air coming into your vocal cords, your voice is going to sound very breathy, which is fine if you are, say, Marilyn Monroe impersonator. But if you want your voice to sound a little bit clearer, a little bit sharper, a little bit, more substance to it, then you need to have less air coming through. And you can do certain things to make that happen. For example, using a sort of bratty, nay, nay, nay kind of voice. When I did that, you can hear that my voice wasn't breathy at all. And that kind of sound does have the effect of cutting off some of the air, so that it doesn't sound so breathy. Also, if you have not enough air coming into your vocal cords, then they won't be able to vibrate properly, and you'll just get a very kind of compressed sound. In the extreme, you'll get something like huh, because the sound is just cut off because there's no vibration going on. So you'd want to do the opposite to someone who's got a breathy voice, and use a sound that actually lets more air through. For something like woo woo woo, that actually makes your voice sound a little lighter, and it can help to just reduce some of the strain of not having enough air coming through. And then, okay, so you've got the air vibrating the vocal cords. After that happens, uh, the sound will actually have to go through what you call your resonators, which is, in short, your throat and your mouth, which will modify the sound. So in your throat, for example, you have a structure called your larynx, which is also called the voice box. And the position of that voice box, or how the muscles are acting inside and outside the larynx, will affect how the sound is. And also in your mouth, you've got, the walls of your mouth, the roof of your mouth, the back of your tongue, tip of your tongue, your teeth, all that will affect how the voice sounds. So, for example, if your larynx is high, then you're going to get a more bratty nasal sound like the one I did before. If you lower your larynx, you're going to get a kind of Yogi Bear sound. If you widen your lips, if you say I love you with your lips wide, it's going to sound very different to if you purse your lips and say I love you instead. So all of that stuff can affect the way your voice sounds. And you can actually have quite a lot of fun playing around with the different areas of your the resonator and with the breathiness and everything. So that's the technical side. However, as I said before, I agree that it doesn't make sense just having technique. You need to be able to express yourself freely and without any shame about being yourself. And so while the technical side of it can help you play around with your voice and get it more the way you want it to be, you want to be also um, creating and conveying a message. And so to be able to convey that message, you're really telling a story. And so that's the key thing, really, to think about what the song is about, or whatever piece you're conveying to people. It could actually be a spoken piece. Think about what it is you want to say, who you're saying it to, why you're saying it, what happened before you started speaking or singing, what might happen after, what do you want to happen. All those things, all those questions need to be answered before you can really communicate and connect with the audience. So that's basically a summary of my take on that issue. I have a little report. It's a free report that you can download if you want an expanded version of that. And the link should be below. So, yes, if you'd like to receive that report, please click on the link below. And if you'd like to chat with me more about the way I work and my my philosophy about singing and teaching, please feel free to get in touch. Thank you for listening. Bye.